Yeah, so Jimmy said, so Saturday AM only for action manga. It's a great question, and Saturday AM is it's not only for action manga. What we're looking for is original manga that has an ability to break out into other categories. So I think if you look at something like Shonen Jump, Attack, or not even Shonen Jump, manga classified as horror or kind of like a thriller. Scat Dance to some and Gintama. Uh, uh, you know, there's several manga that have existed over time. Detective Conan, that are all sorts of things. They're not really manga. They're not really action oriented. So what we're looking for again is stuff that's really unique and fun, and we're just trying to find things that can really take us to the next level in terms of creating new content, new innovative ideas that people will enjoy. But manga, the aesthetic of manga is certainly what we look for, and we do look for things that are a little more aggressive, I guess would be the right way to put it. Like I would be surprised at this stage of the game if we were to publish something that was slice of life, that was just like two people sitting around talking, no real sense of uh, of conflict, I guess would be the right word. So yeah, so I mean, action manga certainly was our focus. We're looking to graduate to other ideas as well, though. Thank you for that question, Jimmy. And obviously, again, if you are just joining us, this is Saturday AM. I'm the founder of MyFutprint, which is the corporate identity of Saturday AM, Afternoon WebX, and Well Read, which is our ebook line. And we, have many people who are wanting to ask questions over time, and we want to we're trying to learn more about Google Hangouts and how to interact more effectively with our fans. So, want to put this together and just be available for questions for a good 30, 45 minutes. So feel free to ask away. If you have any other questions, feel free to submit those through into the. If you have any questions, feel free to just submit those into the question box that should be available there, and we'll be able to answer them live. Hopefully, there's questions about Saturday AM. If you're a writer, about questions about what we look for in content. I'm drinking quality water right there, ladies and gentlemen. So while we're waiting, I'll just bring up a couple of things. If you are new to Saturday AM, certainly, we are an action. We're a manga publication. We come out every 2 weeks. We're on our 10th issue, about to debut our 11th issue, featuring Mikhail Dingle's debut of his long-awaited manga called Metallica Lux Nova. And we're really excited about where things have gone with us. So we've got some amazing fans from all over the world, and we've got creators also who are global, everyone from Korea to Vietnam to the United States to Macedonia, Hungary, and so on. So Canada, Mexico. So we're really, really excited about the diversity that we have, both in our readership as well as in terms of our creators. I think it's important to have creators who look like the world and create content that can speak to so many people within the world. So we're really excited about what we're doing, and we hope you all are excited as well and are able to continue to support us as we move on and do more and more things. Right now, we currently have a publication called Saturday AM that comes out every 2 weeks. We also have a daily manga vehicle called Afternoon WebX, and we just debuted our ebook line, which is going to be coming out a couple times a year. The first book was awesome, called Skypunk. It's available now for 99 cents, 475 pages, interactive content. You can select chapters and go to them. It's got galleries and just really, really cool product. And so we're just really excited about the stuff we're doing right now. So. I'm new to the whole Google Hangouts thing, so I think it's an awesome piece of technology. I'm just now trying to figure out how to effectively get questions in and answer them and all that good stuff. Hopefully I'm answering the questions as they come in. So. Hopefully some of you guys are big fans of the World Cup, because it's been pretty exciting this year, and we've got obviously the United States, which is my country, just won yesterday, and then today Belgium just beat Algeria, which was kind of cool. So Mexico, Brazil is up next, and that should be a pretty exciting game. So hopefully you guys are excited about that as I am. So we just got started a little late here, and that is certainly my fault. But we are available. Obviously, we've got the notice sitting out there to a few different places. If there are any individuals who wish to get involved or be a part of the chat, feel free to reach out to us. You can just join immediately. You can offer any sort of questions that you have, and we'll be happy to answer. And we'll probably do some more of these. Like I said, I'm trying to get the technology figured out and trying to get more people involved in it. So, we are trying to do as many things as possible. And I guess I could do, let's see here. Huh. Hey, how's it going? Is that Mark Cox? How you doing, Mr. Cox? Nice to meet you. You have a question for SaturdayAM? I'm going to try to do a screen share here so that I'm not you're not just looking at my beautiful face, which is awesome, I admit. You guys can look at something cool like that instead. So let's see here if I can do the screen share. There we go. Yeah, that's got to be a lot better than looking at me. There we go. Okay. So Mark, did you have any questions at all, or? That's even better. Look at that. Look at how awesome that is. Wow, that's awesome. I believe this will actually be recorded to our YouTube channel, which is sad within itself because it's just me and I'm talking to empty screen. But for those of you who think of starting a company, let this excitement be something that you recognize. So, Mark, the pilot program, yeah. So the pilot manga program, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but in a nutshell, SaturdayAM and Afternoon WEB-X feature some of the best webcomic creators around the world, and they're curated, meaning that we find the best creators and we bring them together. And we have them exclusively, and we feature them within our publications. The pilot manga program is designed to give people who because obviously the world is so big and there are so many talented individuals out there, that the Pilot Manga program we created basically to enable people who are wanting to get their work seen to be able to, and want to do it directly with Saturday AM or Afternoon WebEx, to contact us and be able to go through a process to create their property the way that we typically like to have properties generated, and to be able to share them both within our family as well as to then be featured within Saturday AM or Afternoon WebEx. So it's a membership program within within Facebook. It's got admissions that you basically ask to be admitted into. It's a private group. Once we accept you, which 99.9% of people will be accepting on July 1st, then you'll get access to videos that are specific to the group. You'll get access to content that's specific to the group, and you'll be in a position to have your work basically. You'll be able to compete against other creators to be featured within Saturday AM or Afternoon WebEx. So it's a really exciting opportunity. The main thing we're trying to do, Mark, is build a community of individuals who are serious about growing their webcomic or manga skills to go to the next level. We think that many people will want to actually make a career at this and not just trying to create their version of Naruto. And for those people, we wanted to create something that would be really exciting for them. So we're really pumped about it. It starts July 1st. Hopefully you have put your information in to become a member of the SaturdayAM Pilot Manga program. All you have to do is either go to our Facebook fan page, which is facebook.com/SaturdayAM, just one word, and ask to join the Pilot Manga program. And again, we'll be making admissions available on July 1st. Let me see here. We got another question from Dante Lelane. So Dante is asking in regards to about how to get his manga in Saturday AM. So Dante, there's really two ways. The one way I just answered for Mark, which is about our Pilot Manga program, and that is basically, that's the most serious way to get in. I mean, honestly, the way to put this is that we're not like the other webcomic aggregator sites out there. So we're not going to publish everybody's manga. We're not. We're a professional organization. Our objective is to try to create content that will be future anime, that will be future video games, you name it. I have a professional background from the video game industry. I was one of the highest ranking executives that was African American in the industry. So, I very much am focused on trying to create content that already has a shot at being successful. So our objective is to find top manga properties. And if we see stuff out there on any of the other sites that we think are really good, then we'll be contacting you. But if you've got a property that we're not familiar with, you can go to the Pilot Manga program, or you certainly can send it to us and we'll take a look at it. The one thing I'll say on a couple of fronts of that is that, number one, we don't do anything to, again, we're not the other companies out there, and you know who they are. So, we do take very high standards to what we look for from manga. We do take very high standards for what we look for from creators. So, for us, I don't like the word elite. We're certainly not elite by any standards, but we do look for people who represent professionalism at the highest level. We hold our creators to a high standard, and so for a lot of people in the webcomic space, unfortunately, that's not really the reality for them. They're doing this as a hobby. They're doing this because they're really big fans of Naruto or Dragon Ball, and frankly, those creators are really not the creators that would work with us, that we would work with, or that would work with us. So that's just something to think about. Again, check out our Pilot Manga program. You can find information about that at facebook.com/SaturdayAM, or you can look at any of the interviews I've done, which is on our YouTube channel, where we talk a bit more about the process. But that's pretty much a straightforward answer. But if you've got something exciting, send it to us. We'll certainly take a look at it. Let's see, Dante, you asked a second question, but Mark sent in something where he's, basically attaching a file for us to look at. And so, as I said before, we'll certainly take a look at stuff that's out there. We certainly want to find the best, content that's there. So if there's some stuff that is sitting out there that we're not already familiar with, which we're pretty up on things that are out there. If there's stuff sitting out there that we're not familiar with, we absolutely would take a great deal of interest in trying to find what's out there. So Mark, I see Mark has submitted some stuff there, so we'll take a look at that, Mark, probably after the chat, and if there's an opportunity for us to look at that. We'll definitely get back to you without a doubt. And if there's something there that we can look at that would fit with us, and we'll absolutely contact you for that. If not, we'll certainly direct you to the pilot manga program. And that's not a step down. That's not a slight towards your talent or anything like that. The pilot manga program is set to work with creators, to work with their properties, to turn them into things that could be for SaturdayAM Afternoon WebEx. And like I said, the only content that we typically accept just straight up are things that we discover that we think already fits the SaturdayAM mantra. Really strong artwork, fantastic concept, a really original concept. It doesn't look like Dragon Ball or Naruto, and a work ethic, which is very, very difficult to find in webcomics. But a work ethic where we know that, hey, you're going to be able to get content out on a weekly basis for Afternoon WebEx or on a bi-weekly basis for SaturdayAM. And so those are some of the key things we look at. So certainly we'll take a look at that, Mark, and if it's something that we think is fantastic, then we'll certainly be in touch. Dante asked the question of how he can work for SaturdayAM. And Dante, right now we don't have, we're a small company. Again, some of our competitors are financed by governments, and some of them are financed by venture capital, by a lot of money, and we're not. That's not to say that we would not be open to venture capital and stuff like that. But right now, like most companies in the world or in America, we are focused on, we're a small group. Many of us are wearing multiple hats, and so our objective is simply to try to do the best thing that we can do in terms of what we currently have. So right now we're not currently hiring. We certainly have opportunities for people who want to do internship capabilities. We're actually working on that now for the fall. So if that's something that you would be interested in, we certainly be open to look at that. But in terms of hiring people in outright for positions that we already have filled, that's not there right now. But certainly keep looking, keep asking the question. If we're in a position to hire people, we certainly will let you know. Next question, looks like two questions from the same person, Justin Ramos. Justin's asking, can a teen get into SaturdayAM or Afternoon WebEx if good enough? This is a great question, Justin. Let me select that one. It's a really great question. So the youngest creator that we have currently is Mario Savovsky, and he just turned 20. He was under 20 when we first started working with us. He does the manga called Race On with the artist Gmar Delfino. That's a really beautiful looking work. You'll probably see some pictures of it here in a minute on the screen share. Really, really beautiful looking piece of artwork. So, as far as, a teenager, I'm an old man by many people's standards. I just turned 40, which is actually quite young, but in the world of webcomics, it seems like I'm an ancient, foggy old man. I don't believe that it's appropriate to have people who are teenagers. I think that there is a wealth of work experience and a wealth of maturity that you need to have, particularly for things that are startups like this. But again, I come from the tech industry. There are not many, but there are a few tech experts who are very young, who are teenagers. And if you've got the drive, the ambition, if you've got the talent, and if you are hungry enough to get started doing some things, then we'll certainly take a look at it and see if there's something that we can work with you on. It would be stupid of me to say that teenagers can't get to a certain place with that, because obviously we have teenage actors, teenage singers, teenage athletes who are phenomenal, and so we view comic creating and the sort of stuff that we do at SaturdayAM is very similar to athletics or entertainment. We think it's a skill set you have to have that you're born with, and then we think you have to have the work ethic to want to work at it. And if you have both of those at a young age, then that's amazing, and we certainly will take a look at it. So again, contact us. You can always reach us at info at SaturdayAM.com. That's our email address for just general questions. Info at SaturdayAM.com. The only thing I would say is that, again, being from corporate America, having the background I have, I'm very upfront, because I think that it's more respectful to tell people directly the truth than trying to lead people on because you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. And I would say that, I am sometimes stunned when I talk to people who they can look at their work, I think, and can see that they are not at the maturity level yet artistically for anything. Like they would never get hired at Marvel at that stage. They would never get hired at DC. Never get hired at Image. And from that perspective, while we certainly aren't those companies, I think there's a certain element there that where if you can look at your work and say, okay, well, I know I can't draw like Jim Lee, well, then, that should tell you right there that you're not at the level yet that you want to be at. And even if you can't, which doesn't mean that we discriminate against those things, because again, we have mini-series in Afternoon WebEx that people will look at and go, oh, well, artistically, this is not as good as Saturday AM. I would certainly disagree with that because I think that the creators in Afternoon WebEx are accomplished. They can actually tell a story, and their artwork is quirky. It's not poor. It's just quirky. They have a style that's kind of odd and different, kind of like The Simpsons when you look at The Simpsons or South Park. These are accomplished artists that do those series, but the series themselves, you would never put that up against anime, for example. But there's a style they work in, and that's how a lot of the creators we work with have styles in Afternoon WebEx that are different. But the storytelling is fantastic. And so, again, if you've got those skill sets, we'll certainly take a look at it. Let's see. Mr. Cox is asking a question about what separates us from groups like Manga Magazine. Look, there's a ton of sites out there. There's Manga Magazine. There's Tapastic, which I personally love their web design. There is who's the other group? There is Smack Jeeves. I mean, there's a ton of people out there. I think what separates us is that, first of all, we're focused. We're a smaller, focused selection of titles. You see on the screen there are Posebots, Apple Black, Race On, Comatose by Wally Wynn, which is an amazing. I mean, that's a comic that could be sold in American comic shops as an independent comic book. Apple Black, which is of course a monster hit, Bully Eater, Saigami, which is another monster hit, and then Catharos. So we have a list of really awesome titles, not counting Afternoon WebEx, that are highly focused. We don't have 10,000 titles up there. We don't accept work from everybody. We try to be very focused on what we do. We're looking for, if you look at each property, Catharos there on the screen, Massive Multiplayer, World of Ghosts, if you look at each property, they don't look like each other. They all look very different, and that's not just art styles, that's a creative aspect of it as well. And so we think that we've got stuff that's very commercial, it's very unique, it's very focused. Our relationship towards marketing and advertising is unique to what we do. So, I think what separates us from those companies is everything. Their business model is set up to basically have lots of pages that are filled with your content and to sell advertising and stuff like that. And that's a great business model. That's how Facebook makes money. That's how Google makes money. That's how a lot of companies make money, is to get a huge amount of traffic and sell advertising against it. That's not our business model. Our business model is to take the core properties we have and to try to focus them into major brands so that we can create the next Iron Man or Pokemon and stuff like that. So, I would just say our focus is totally different from theirs, and that's how we tend to operate. That's just the way we're set up. So, so that's what separates us from them. I hope that answers the question a little bit. So, any other questions? We got a handful of viewers there. Any other questions that we can answer? I'll be happy to let this run for another 10 minutes because we got started so late. So that'd be a good almost hour of talk time, which should be enough for me. So please advise if there's any other questions that I can answer regarding Saturday AM, Afternoon WebEx, or our new ebook, Well Read. And hopefully some of you all are either subscribers of Saturday AM, you're readers of Afternoon WebEx, or you've purchased our first ebook. Hopefully that's the case. So any other questions? Okay, excellent question from Justin Ramos. Justin, you're killing it on the questions today, Justin. Good questions. So the question is, will SaturdayAM stay at $5 for next year? So for those of you who maybe are not familiar with us, let me just throw this out there before I answer Justin's question. So one of the things as well that makes us unique is that our content does cost. So SaturdayAM, for example, is a biweekly manga anthology. It has several series at a time that run within it. So every issue you're full of, you have lots of content. We average near 100 pages a month. We're anywhere from 80 to 100 pages a month. I mean, an issue, sorry, per issue, which is every 2 weeks. So, and what we've done, we decided because we knew that we were different from everybody. We knew we didn't have the big money that a Marvel or a DC has. We charge $5 a subscription. So now the way the subscription works is that you get 20 issues because we don't publish 24 issues, which would be twice, which would be a biweekly publication. And there's a couple of reasons for why we don't do that. But we do 24. We do 20 issues a year. $5 is the cost of it. Everyone we tell that to gets really excited, and so we're really proud of that. We think it's a really smart aspect of our business model. We also have individual issues at $1.99. So the way that we look at it is, hey, if you are in a position, subscribe as soon as possible, so you can get all of our content. And if you miss an issue, because your subscription starts when you start your subscription. So we're already at issue 10. We're about to debut issue 11. If you buy a subscription today, you get issue 10. But issue 1 through 9, you've missed. So we do sell back issues at $1.99 per, or single issues at $1.99 per. And in some cases, we do bundles where you get all 5 issues for like $5. That's not going to always be the case, but that's what we currently do. So to Justin's question, he asked the question of, so next year in 2015, will we have $5 subscriptions? And the answer, Justin, is yes, we think so. I can't answer for sure right now. And the reason being is because obviously, we have costs and expenses that are important to us to carry so that we can maintain the quality that we have. And we thought this was a great price this year. We're making do with it. But certainly there are things that we want to do more of next year for our fans, such as going to conventions and making our product available in other arenas. Those are things that we want to do. Those are things that many of our fans want us to do. And operationally, to cover the expenses to make those things happen, it's going to require us to have more revenue. Because like I said, we're not financed by other companies or other groups. So, right now I believe it will stay at $5, but I can't say for sure. But that's a great question, and certainly for everyone who's associated with SaturdayAM, if we were to change the pricing structure, you will be the first to know. So that's that. Next question. We've got some good questions in here. Jimmy Sin is asking about, let me select it here. He says he understands how SaturdayAM set this up apart from other webcomics, but considering SaturdayAM isn't very popular now, what advertising market strategy would you do so that SaturdayAM won't fail and become a big hit? So Jimmy, that's a great question. And let me say, first of all, you worded it a little differently than is accurate. So let me make sure I correct a couple things you said there. So first of all, you're absolutely right. There are things that we need to do to continue to maintain the momentum that we have and to continue to grow it. It certainly isn't correct to say we're not very popular right now. SaturdayAM is extremely popular right now. We've actually been surprised at how popular we've gotten. Let's keep in mind a couple of things that are specific popularity. Number one is we actually charge people to utilize SaturdayAM, and we actually are getting subscriptions. Many of our other competitors do not do that, and those who have tried to do that have not done very well at all. And I know because I was a subscriber to some of those services, so I know how well they've done with it. Number two, popularity is interesting terminology when you consider that we just started less than a year ago, and many of the other companies have been around for, on average, 3 to 4 years. So we have a ways to go, but in terms of our trajectory, given the fact that we are not taking everyone's content, so there's not a situation here where you and your buddies and your family come check out our website because, hey, cousin Bobby's on it, and so-and-so's on it, and this person's on it, and we're not that group. We're a highly focused set of products or comics that we have. So, the fact that we are as popular as we are, the fact that we are generating sort of interest that we do on some of the areas that we had, we just debuted an ebook line, and ebook selling very well. The fact that we have any of these things happening the way that they are is amazing, and certainly I can assure you that we are on the radar of every one of our competitors. But you asked a great question about how do we maintain the momentum that we have, how do we take it to the next level. and make sure we don't fail. And so, what the question that was answered earlier, the question that was asked earlier, is pretty much part of the work that we have to do, which is that we have to maintain that we're generating revenues in a way that covers our expenses and allows us to do new things. We're attending conventions. We're going to be at Heroes Con this coming weekend. So we're actually doing things that are slowly or rapidly, because again, I mean, we're not even a year old, and we're doing some pretty big things. And we have a really big announcement coming out next couple of weeks that I think will be pretty surprising to people. So, I would just say, our objective is, I have a business background. I was in the video game industry for over a decade. I started this company specifically to be successful. So it's not really an option for me to not be successful. I've had success in the past. I intend to have it again with SaturdayAM. And I think what we're doing is the right way to do it. But again, it's like if we had investment where we could actually spend lots of money on advertising and marketing, well, that would change the trajectory of what we're doing in a dramatic way. But right now, we've got control. We're really happy. Every creator that we have is with us. They're not leaving. We have every creator we've approached, we've been able to get. So, we feel pretty good about where we are right now. But we certainly will continue to work hard to maintain our objectives. And let's see, the next question is SaturdayAM in the future. Where do we see SaturdayAM in the future, by Mr. Cox? And Mark, yeah, I mean, as far as where we see it in the future, I mean, what I would say is that I certainly want to give anything away to our competitors. We have really big plans, as I said before, to Jimmy Shin, Jimmy Shin. We'll be working on some big announcements here in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, we have the Pilot Manga program. It's going to help us develop talent and develop original concepts and properties. But we have some really big announcements coming out that I think will help you see some of the places that we're going and some things we're going to try to do. But like I said, we're just a year old, man. We have a long-term plan, and we have been surprised at how successful we've been in the first year. When we started out, when you look at this list of faces here, there were only 5 of us, and now we've got another 5, and then we have another 5 on top of that with after WEB-X, and both of those lists are going to be growing before the end of the summer. So we're pretty stoked with where we are, and where we tend to be. What I will say is where we intend to be is we want to be a very recognized brand for the sort of content that we produce, and we think that we have a plan to do that in the next couple of years, and we think we can achieve that. So that is it. I can do a few more minutes here. I'd like to try to wrap it up. It's 2:56 my time. I'd like to wrap it up by about 3 p.m. so I can get some other stuff done here. But great questions, really awesome questions, and I think, again, this speaks to how awesome our fan base is. You can see here, of course, the list of the faces for all of the creators that are engaged in SaturdayAM. Our newest creator, of course, their newest 2 creators towards the end there, Mikhail Dingle, who has Metallica Lux Nova coming, and Beverly Toole, who is creator of Catharos, which, I'm really proud to have Beverly, because as an African American myself, to find a mangaka who is a black female is very, very rare. So we think it's really awesome to see the diversity we have. In fact, I'm extremely proud of the diversity we have. And we've got obviously more after WEB-X, and we've got even more people coming, Southeast Asian, and just more people, different, all sorts of things. So I'm really, really excited about that. I think that speaks a great deal to who we are and what we are. Also, don't forget we've got our blog up there, so make sure you check out. We do reviews for films. We do interviews with creators. We got a big interview coming up with the animation company. And of course, we have some T-shirts that'll be coming out soon. Let's see here. We've got a new question. In the future, from White Hair Artist, in the future, do you see SaturdayAM selling hard copies for each separate series as volumes for the people that want to hold it in their hands? So White Hair Artist, as I said earlier in the chat, I am an old man. I am a really old man. So So I'm 40 years old, and so I grew up reading physical comics. So of course, we'd like to do physical comics. That is what we believe is, that without physical comics, certainly I wouldn't have started all of this stuff. I mean, that's what I grew up on. But let me say that from a business standpoint, it's really difficult to do physical comics. It is really difficult to do physical comics. I think that I just think physical comics are a really tough market right now. And I don't see it, to be frank with you, I don't see it coming back. So, I started the company with digital in mind from the very beginning. That said, we have some announcements coming up that I think you will find extremely exciting. And so, certainly just keep an eye out. We've got some interesting things coming that I think you'll enjoy. But I will say that when it comes to me and my background, I mean, I've always thought outside of the box. I've always, my professional career was built on me doing things that no one has seen done before. So I like trying new ideas. And so, we will have some stuff that's physical, and I think you'll be surprised with some stuff we come up with. But great question. Let's see, two more questions there, Mr. Let's see, Mark Cox is asking, 3 of our manga, Lux Nova, Apple Black, Saigami, are all YouTube grown. Yes, that's true. Do you know the history of YouTube manga community, Rona Project? Yes. So Rona Project, we actually profiled Rona Project in our, I believe it was 8th issue. So I believe in our 8th issue we profiled the Rona Project, and so I'm trying to go up there to our, but it's in our subscribe page. So yeah. So what I'll say is, let me check here. You all are getting a fantastic view of our website if you've never been on our website before. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, we did a thing on Rona Project a while back, and the issue was a very well received issue. Yeah, I'm very familiar with the YouTube history of manga. I mean, it's Youtube's an interesting animal. I mean, I'm not quite sure really what else to say about it, but yeah, I'm familiar with the history of it. What I would say is that my thing on the digital world as it exists right now, and what we're trying to do with Saturday AM is that because you had asked the question before, Mark, about some of the other websites that are out there, and it's like, again, there are a lot of other websites that are out there, and a lot of really great properties that are on some of the other websites. And I ask the question I ask all the time, which is, but to create it, I'm like, do you have any fans though? And they'll go, oh yeah, I've got 3,000 people on YouTube, and I've got 1,000 people that follow me on Facebook. And and I ask the same question: do you have fans? Do you have someone that actually chose to buy your stuff instead of buying a Happy Meal, or buying a new video game, or buying a new T-shirt, or buying a? And that is where, and every time I ask that question, I get a pause. And that's, like I said, I'm from the world of corporate America. I'm from the world of actually producing stuff. And I think that when as much as I love the opportunity that digital comics have created for people, and web comics, and the openness of the internet, let's get real. This is the real world here. I mean, how are people paying bills? How are you, taking care of your family? And so, YouTube and these platforms are great at being able to get exposure for people. But then that's where it ends. And so, our objective is to try to change that. So, yeah, I'm very familiar with YouTube manga history. I don't know, when you say it like that, I guess I would only say that I don't think that's anything necessarily to jump up and down about. I mean, there's a history for everything. There's a history for video game properties that really took off. Penny Arcade, which is one of the most popular webcomics and defined webcomics, came from the world of video games. But again, I mean, for every Penny Arcade, there's a gazillion properties that haven't made it, a gazillion creators who haven't actually done anything with that opportunity. So, our objective is wherever the property originates from is to be able to take it and make it something big, down the road. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm certainly familiar with it, and I think it was the 8th issue actually. Our website didn't load here, I think, because I'm trying to do too many things, but yeah, on the subscribe page, if you go to the 8th issue, you'll see that we do have a tribute to the Rona Project, which is awesome, on our 8th issue. Let's see, next question, potentially the final question here from Justin Ramos. Do I have any doubts before creating Saturday AM? Absolutely, of course. I still have doubts. Still have doubts. I mean, it's like I think if you believe that things are going to happen just because you have willpower, then you're fooling yourself. You know, it's you know, the world is harsh. Business is tough. You know, things don't happen just because they're supposed to happen, and good people don't always win just because they're good people. You know, things are really difficult, and in the world of webcomics in particular, you know, we're talking about concepts and properties that, like Mark just asked a question, and I was saying to Mark, I mean, a lot of these properties, you know, again, they have a lot of eyeballs, but they don't have a lot of business. You know, nothing's really happening for them. Now if they, you know, if the people who made the comics owned, you know, the websites that feature their comics, and they were making, you know, all that money off of advertising, you know, 100% and not like a percentage of it, well, that'd be a whole other story. But that's not the reality. So, you know, it's very difficult to make ends meet with any sort of business, and I can tell you that things are really difficult to be successful anytime you have a new endeavor. But you know, but I believe in the creators that we have. Every day, I'm encouraged by stuff like by the great questions that you and Mark and other people have asked in this chat, by the response we get to things like our pilot manga program, or to our latest issues, to the ebook we just launched, which was something that was completely just something I wanted to do because I felt like, you know, I'm a big reader. I felt like there was some great ebook content out there, some great creators, and I was like, why don't we get involved in this too and bring the same philosophy we have with Saturday AM to ebooks? And the response has been fantastic. So, you know, so yeah, there are doubts. There still are doubts, but, you know, I believe in myself. I believe in the people that are aligned with me, and I believe in the fans, and I believe that that all those things together, if we stay focused and we stay committed to trying to do the right thing for everybody, will work. You know, a good example is that we could have charged a lot more for the subscriptions. I think value-wise, we offer just as much as Walking Dead does, the comic book from Robert Kirkman, and he charges $2.99 for a digital comic. That's basically the same price as the physical comic, and so he basically is making a value judgment to say, hey, I believe that Walking Dead, thanks to the TV show, of course, is so powerful of a concept that people will be willing to pay the same price for the digital copy as they were for the comic copy. And that was a gamble on his part, and he was proven right by that. But when I look at what we offer, which is some comics that are in full color, some fantastic original artwork, some great stories, a beautiful professional package that's interactive. I mean, the Walking Dead comic's not interactive, but ours is interactive. You can touch stuff and make things happen. You can move the picture from one thing to another. I think when you look at all of that, and the fact we only charge $1.99 or $5 for a whole year subscription, you know, that's the sort of things that make me remove some doubt, because I feel like we're doing all the right things and not trying to be greedy or disrespectful to our audience. But we know our place as well. We know we're not Robert Kirkman. We know we're not Walking Dead. We know we're not Marvel or DC. So I think right now, as long as we stay realistic, as long as we stay committed to our fans and to our properties and to our goals, that we'll be successful. But you know, I think I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't have any doubts. Of course I do. Let's see. I think that's it. And Mr. Robert Cox just stated that really appreciated the question, and thank you, Mark. I appreciated your questions as well. We'll probably try to do more of these Q&As because I feel like you guys have really embraced them, and I feel like you're helping us reach an audience, and we appreciate that. And conversely, you know, any chance that we get to talk directly to you all, you know, it helps us as well. So thank you guys for just participating in this. I really appreciate it. Thank you for supporting Saturday AM and Afternoon WEB-X and Well Read. On behalf of all the creators, I want to thank you for just, you know, staying with us, and we will be back. We have some truly big announcements coming up, and I just can't wait to reveal them to you guys. I think you guys will really appreciate them, and that's it. So take care, guys. Thank you again for attending, and look for more of these Q&As. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. It's not youtube.com/SaturdayAM. It's not that, even though we own it. We haven't made the change to it yet, but if you look for Saturday AM, you'll certainly find it on YouTube, and then just join us and subscribe, and then you can expect to see more Q&As because this was really fun. All right, guys, thank you, and we'll talk soon.